there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking about Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, responding to her being dragged for liking a messy post by her personal friend about Janet Jackson and her ticket prices and how they're quote-unquote Beyonce prices for meet and greet tickets, in which her own daughter doesn't even do. But nonetheless, before we get into that, I need to provide you guys with some receipts, because before the beehive starts coming in, or before people start trying to come in and be like, oh, you know, this is a hater, or, you know, Tina, she's elderly, she, you know, we click things by accident all the time. No. This at least has been documented since 2016, and this is courtesy of the Shade Room. Let me direct you here. So here is courtesy, like I said, of the Shade Room, where Beyonce's mom is Tina Lawson, likes this comment back in 2016. Remember, you know, how all of the award season, how the buzz was around Dreamgirls, likes a comment that says, J HUD sounds horrible, you guys. And immediately, that was when, you know, Tina Knowles got dragged. As we know, Jennifer Hudson was the one who won the Oscar for supporting actress and all of the things. And so she alleges she's going to go on a social media break because she couldn't handle the heat, and try to, you know, put it on Beyonce and Solange that, you know, they told her that, you know, a lot of people say things on the internet and it's easy to get caught up in things and blah, 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 blah. And you would have think, since this happened in 2016, that, you know, Tina would never do this again, right? This would never happen again, right? But next, we have what happens, you know, she was liking a messy post about Nicki Minaj and her husband. Now, this is Tina Knowles, aka Beyonce's mom, liking a post from the Jasmine brand a few years back on Nicki Minaj about the prosecution recommending 15 months of prison time after her husband, Kenneth, failed to register as a sex offender in California. And Tina, I believe, got dragged by the Barbs, which is Nicki's fan base. Here's the thing, I don't support Nicki's husband or that relationship or whatever, but I am providing this to show you that Beyonce's mom, aka Tina Knowles, has a history of liking messy things on social media and liking negative things that involved other Black female artists on social media. She has also done her own post and delete as it pertained to a picture of, you know, her and her own daughter, because at the time there was rumors that there was beef, that there was issues, right? And who would be surprised if your, you know, sister is getting all the praise and you're getting zero attention from your own mother, right? And so then also there was a post and delete that Miss Tina Knowles did, like I said in the previous video, in regards to a humanitarian speech that Rihanna gave, but the Beehive and everybody else came after her because we have to fuel this Rihanna versus Beyonce conspiracy with zero receipts, right? So that happened, right? And so now let's get into some comments that Beyonce herself has made, right? We're gonna get into all of this, you guys, before we get into Tina's response. So this was an Elle magazine interview that Beyonce did several years back, and she says the following. She says, I grew up upper class, she says, private school. My dad had a Jaguar. We're African American, and we work together as a family, so people assume that we're like the Jacksons. Said nobody ever, by the way. But didn't have parents use me to get out of a bad situation. Are you kidding me right now? Do you see the behavior of both Matthew Knowles and Tina Knowles and how much they are in the news compared to their own daughter, Beyonce? For always making some type of messy comment, or in Tina's case, always saying or doing something messy on social media, and how dare you come for the Jacksons? At least, you know what, their parents taught them how to work hard and how to handle the media, and to not use the media and other people to try to take shots at their peers and take shots at other Black artists. Make it make sense. And try to hide behind your parents of being messy. We have never heard of the legendary Miss Katherine Jackson ever being involved in any mess. Ever.
And even the mess with Joe Jackson it was pretty much contained for several decades, right? Until it wasn't. But even that does not match the levels of, you know, attention seeking and drama that keeps taking place with the Knowles. Make it make sense. And don't get me started on the grandson, on his own sets of issues, because we can go there too. So here's one interview comment. Let's get into the next one. So in this one, this was a more recent comment that Beyonce did in her interview, because as you notice, Beyonce doesn't speak anymore in person unless it's at a paid event, such as a concert or performance. So she says, you know, about her musical influences and who they are, and only mentions Michael Jackson. Says nothing about the other siblings, you guys. Says, quote, Michael was a genius. He was one of a kind. I don't think anyone could compare to him, not even his own brothers and sisters. He was the only one who had that magic, end of quote. The same Beyonce, who has taken several inspirations. Everybody talks about, you know, the Diana Ross and the Tina Turner comparisons, but people forget when it comes to touring, especially, and dancing choreography and you know, the sexy image and all that stuff, all that's Janet. Janet Jackson paved the way for all of the girls to go there. Janet Jackson was the first person on the All For You tour to remix somebody else's song. So she remixed the Jay-Z song, Give It To Me, as part of a dance break. And Beyonce immediately took that for her next tour. Beyonce has took tons of visuals that Janet Jackson has used on her tours over the years, over the decades. So having the audacity to even come for Janet's concerts or the tour or production in itself is completely and utterly blasphemous. And all the inspiration that Beyonce has, including even dressing up as Janet Jackson herself for Halloween, to say that she has zero influence on you, are you kidding me? And you were the same person who was dancing up and down at Janet's Vegas show a couple of years ago prior to the pandemic? Are we doing this right now? You have no inspiration from Janet? Really? So, with that being said, with these receipts were provided, let's get into Tina's response.
The phone call that I'm trending for liking a post about ticket prices and an artist overcharging. First of all, being on the other side of that, I know better than anyone what a great production cost, and that it's expensive. And I would never criticize another artist, let alone Janet Jackson, who is the queen of production, and her family. I mean, they're the first family of music, always have been and always will be, and I love and respect them. Secondly, I stay away from negativity. If you follow me, then you know that I am not involved in the mess. So what I am guilty of is liking posts, going through when I'm in a big hurry and I don't have time to really read, and liking things because I trust that these are people that I follow. That was a big mistake. I will never do that again. So I just want you to hear it from my mouth that I would absolutely never do that.
So after these comments, this was a part of her Instagram post as well from Miss Tina Knowles' official account that says, I am saddened by this. Janet Jackson is an icon and I would never question another artist. I took Destiny's Child to see Janet when they were 15 years old. They always looked up to her and she opened doors for Beyonce. Why would I hate on her? I know not to be in a rush and to be very careful. I learned my lesson, especially when I have so much going on. I just wanted to clarify, I do know that you can see people's likes, so I would be pretty dumb to do that. So, you know I'm about to go in because this is completely and utterly nonsense, you guys. That was why I purposely, the first few minutes of the video, showed you receipts that this is not the first time that Tina Knowles has ever liked a messy post, especially when it involves another black female artist, you guys. She knew exactly what she was doing. The friend even confirmed herself in the comments that it was Tina Knowles who did in fact like the post, and that she was more upset that people were not going in on the other comments attacking Janet Jackson, and basically insinuated that her and Tina Knowles were having a key at Janet's ticket prices. That's number one. Number two, this so-called apology is not even the appropriate apology to make because you think that you got quote-unquote a call about artists being overcharged for ticket prices. This is completely wrong.
The complaint was about the fact that some people who just couldn't say that they couldn't afford a Janet Jackson meet and greet ticket was upset that the total cost of the actual seat plus the meet and greet was going to be over $2,000, which guarantees you the first 3 rows of a Janet concert. And you didn't have the money. You were looking for a handout, or you were looking for this to be significantly cheaper, and you thought you were cute putting in your post that these are, quote, Beyonce prices. No. Because here's the thing, Beyonce charges more than this, and you don't even get a meet and greet with her. So how about that? And then also saying that Janet is overcharging, quote unquote, because of how much it costs to produce a concert is completely off base. Here's the thing, like I said before, you guys, a meet and greet ticket, the reason that you were paying the extra money is because that money is going to the artist. But when you are paying for an actual ticket for a concert, the price of the actual ticket itself for your seat, that is where it's going to be distributed to the concert promoter, to the artist, to the singers, to the dancers, to the band, to the production people, all of those things. But the meet and greet goes directly back into the artist's pocket. So for the audacity to even insinuate that Janet's overcharging anything is completely and utterly ridiculous. One look at Ticketmaster and see that the prices for this concert are completely reasonable, you guys. Are completely reasonable. You can get some decent seats for their show and not have to pay a fortune like you do for anywhere you sit at a Beyonce concert. That's number one. The additional expense is in the event you wanted to pay the extra money to sit in the first 3 rows of the concert, and to not only that, but to also have a VIP meet and greet experience with Janet Jackson after the conclusion of the show, which Tina Knowles, your daughter, doesn't do. Your daughter doesn't do meet and greets, right? So this is technically a bargain if we're keeping it a buck. But here's the problem. The Beehive who were attacking Janet and attacking Janet fans on social media need to sit down. And they need to do some homework. Because you're up here talking about stadium tours and album sales and all of these things, and you don't have quite all of your facts. And you don't have quite all of the information as to who Beyonce's inspiration is when it comes to these big production tours. And that comes for both Janet and Michael Jackson. And if we want to talk about attendance to concerts, I believe Michael Jackson still has the record for the most attending. And until I see any of these artists that is on the level of the Jacksons, to where people are literally screaming and crying because they're seeing their icon in concert, I have yet to see any type of experience like that for any of today's artists, including your faves. So let's pipe down. And then this notion that because you took your kids and Destiny's Child or whoever to a Janet Jackson concert, is that supposed to move me? People can go to concerts. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can like or support them. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there was a reason why I posted those receipts, because I wanted to show you that in the past, Beyonce has made negative comments about not only the Jackson family, but specifically Janet Jackson herself. And, Tina Knowles also has a history of liking negative posts as it pertains to other Black female artists that she feels is quote unquote in competition with Beyonce. Here's the thing. Janet Jackson has nothing to prove. Janet Jackson can charge as much money as she wants for a concert ticket, for a meet and greet ticket. She can do whatever she wants as far as I'm concerned. She has the catalog. She has the discography. She has all of the hits, better than some of your faves. Some of your faves maybe only have 1 or 2 decent songs on an album, and the rest is skip worthy. So the audacity to come for Janet Jackson, to come for the Jacksons, and now play dumb that say that you know better than to like a messy post, but you have a history of liking messy posts. So much so that you had to take a social media break because you got dragged by the Jennifer Hudson fans in 2016. So this isn't, you're not new to this, Tina. You're true to this. What you were not anticipating was that the Janet fans were going to come for you, because this took you like a couple days to respond, which tells me this was not, something that was important enough to you to really shut down immediately, right? Because your friend was caping for you in the comments and basically throwing you under the bus. So you trying to come out and flip this other narrative when the receipts say otherwise is completely and utterly blasphemous. Here's the thing. everybody can have a seat at the table. But the problem is when you put your daughter on this pedestal that nobody else is allowed to be criticized, which you freely do in your own time on these dissertations on your social media posts that you claim you are clueless about and you don't understand on social media and how you accidentally do things, but you have no problem dragging anybody that dares to critique your daughter, that dares to not worship your daughter. You have no problem doing that. So how am I supposed to believe that this was an accident? Because it wasn't, right? You thought you were doing something. You thought that there was some type of big comparison or big conspiracy to compare Janet's tour against the Renaissance tour or any other tour for that matter. And it was completely unnecessary. If your friend read the tickets, that's how much it was costing for the meet and greet. But if she actually looked through the rest of the tickets were fairly reasonable and affordable, if we're keeping it a buck. But if you wanted to do a meet and greet, you are going to pay, depending on what city this tour is in, between at least $1,500 to like $2,500 a ticket. But again, within that ticket, you are guaranteed the first 3 rows of the Janet Jackson concert. You are guaranteed a pre-show lounge where they take you to someplace in the arena where you get food, you get free alcohol, you can take pictures. I know this because I've done this multiple times. And then you can have refreshments, and all of this is a few hours before showtime. And then you get additional time to purchase any type of merchandise or anything like that prior to the show starting. And then you watch the show, you watch the opening act, then you watch Janet Jackson, and then once the show is over, you then meet, because you have a special wristband that indicates that you're going to meet Janet after the show, and you follow the instructions as designed. And everybody has their own time with Janet, however short or long it may be. It is not just a 15 or 30 second, hey, how you're doing? Let me put your arm around you for a picture and get out of here. No. This is Janet Jackson, who is very sweet, who is very humble, who is unproblematic. She does not bother anybody. She does not get into beef with anybody. But for whatever reason, these people always want to come up and throw shade. And if it's not shade to Janet, it's shade to Michael. And I just don't understand. This nonsense where you have to compare people and you have to try to, do all this stuff to put somebody on a pedestal is giving insecurity. So when you have a history of doing this and you specifically do this against Black artists that you feel is quote unquote competition against your daughter, of course people are going to drag you. And this also makes Beyonce look bad. Because where is all this energy coming from that both you and your ex-husband Matthew Knowles always have something reckless to say in the media? It's giving, it has to come from somewhere. Or you guys are just so, fame hungry that you need to make sure that you're being seen. But all this tells me is that, for somebody who has quote unquote so much going on, you sure have spent a lot of time on social media, at least since 2016, wondering what everybody else is saying as it compares to your daughter, wondering, about the quote unquote competition of other Black female artists as it pertains to your daughter, and you like to like messy comments. Just own it. Just own it. Say that you liked it, you were trying to be messy, you thought you were having a key, you effed around and found out that there are a lot of Janet fans still that exist on this planet, and now you're backtracking. That's all that was, right? But your friend already outed you that you guys were being messy together, and that she wanted the people to direct their energy at the other negative comments about Janet's prices and not just hold Tina Knowles accountable, who is the mother of Beyonce. Make it make sense, you guys. But these people that think that they're going to play in people's face in 2024, Cat Williams told y'all that's not happening. You want to lie and you want to hide behind, I accidentally did this on social media. I even see some Beyonce fans that are blaming Tina Knowles' age and trying to claim that she's too old, but she has no problem writing dissertations on social media that she's completely alert and oriented for anytime there's criticism against your daughter. So make it make sense. You can't be clueless about what you're liking something and then be fully alert and oriented on the same platform, dragging other fan bases, calling them fools and idiots that dare say anything negative about your daughter. You can't have it both ways, Tina. Just admit you're messy. Just admit you don't like anybody else getting praise unless it's Beyonce. And we can keep it moving. But you continuing to like messy posts about these other black artists indicate a pattern. Indicate a pattern that you like to compare everybody to Beyonce, and you like to hold Beyonce on this ridiculous pedestal as if Janet Jackson never existed. And now you want to acknowledge that Janet paved the way all of a sudden. But your daughter just said recently that her inspiration was Michael and not any of his brothers and sisters. So maybe you and Beyonce need to have a communication, have a talk of some sort, and get the story straight. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.